Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So by the end of this tutorial, you'll learn how to make this beautiful stylish gathered gown with cover buttons in front. If you want to learn how to make something like this for yourself or for your clients, please keep on watching. I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 4 and I left 2 inches allowance at the center front for my button. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is to go ahead and rule a starting line. So please rule a straight line, which is going to serve as your starting line. And guys, please, I made use of 2 yards for this dress, okay? 2 yards. Now from the starting line, I'm going to mark your bust point, okay? So you want to place a tape rule on the starting line, and from there mark your bust point and then rule a straight line across. When you are done, the next thing you're going to do is to mark from the starting line to your under bust, okay? So you can see I'm marking mine right now at 14 inches, and when I'm done, I'm going to rule a straight line across. The next thing you're going to do is to mark from the starting line to your waist, okay? So remember that this starting line is serving as your shoulder. So you're marking from your shoulder to your bust point, shoulder to your under bust, shoulder to waist, all right? So right now I'm marking from my shoulder to my waist or my waistline. And I'm going to rule a straight line across, okay? And then next is I'm going to mark from the waist to where this gathers is going to start, not to your hips, okay? I'm going to mark it to where my gathers is going to start. So for mine, it's going to be 8 inches. Now, if you want this to be shorter, you can make yours 6 inches or 7 inches, okay? Just note where you want the gathers to start on your body and then mark from the waist to that point. Now guys, next thing I'm going to do is to mark my round neckline, okay? So I'm going to make use of 3 inches. I'm going to make use of 3 inches for my round neckline, all right? So if you're on the bigger side, you want to make use of 4 inches or 4.5 inches, all right? Then for the depth for the front, I'm going to make use of 3.5 inches. If you're on the bigger size, you can make use of 4 inches or 4.5 inches, okay? So for the back depth, I'm going to make use of 1 inch, all right? Now, next thing I'm going to do is to mark my shoulder divided by 2, which is 7.5. Then from there, I'm going to mark my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch, and I'm going to connect it back to the neck. Next, I'm going to get my armhole, which is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. You're going to place your tape rule from that your shoulder slope and mark your armhole. So from the shoulder slope, I'm marking 7.5 right now, which is my armhole. And then I'm going to check what I have from the starting line to where I just marked, which is 8.5. So I'm going to mark 8.5 all the way across from the starting line just to achieve a straight line, okay? Now this line I'm going to rule across and it's going to serve as my chest line. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down my armhole line and I want this to be on a straight line. So I'm going to just repeat marking my shoulder divided by 2 and I'm going to just bring down my armhole line on a straight line, just like this. Then next thing I'm going to do is to get my armhole curve. From the chest line, I'm going to go up by 3 inches. From there, I'm going to go in by ½ inch. Then I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope to where I just marked. On the chest line, you're going to mark your bust divided by 4. Mine is 9 inches, so I'm going to mark 9 inches. And then you're just going to connect from the from where you marked initially to where you just marked your bust divided by 4. Then for the back armhole, the back armhole is just going to be at the back of this one you just marked. So the first one you marked is for the front, the back armhole is just behind it. All right. Now, guys, next thing we're going to do is to take our round measurement. All right. So I'm going to come to my bust line and I'm going to mark my bust divided by 4, which is 9 inches. And I'm going to add my allowance. I'm making use of 1.5 inches allowance. On the under bust, I'm going to mark my under bust divided by 4, which is 7 inches. And I'm going to add my allowance. At the waistline, I'm going to mark my waistline divided by 4, which is 7 inches. It is actually 6.75, but I added just small allowance because this is still going to have a belt to snatch your waist. Okay, so when I was done, I marked my hip divided by 4 on that line where my goddess is going to start. Mark your hip divided by 4 there. Okay, so I marked mine there and I added my sewing allowance, and then don't forget to add your 0.5 inches allowance as the hem side. This 0.5 inches allowance is going to be used to join to the gathers. Okay, now guys, when you are done, next thing you want to do is to please also add your allowance to your armhole and to your neckline. I'm going to be doing that while I'm cutting. Okay, but please, if you don't know how to gauge 0.5 inches yet, please just go ahead and use your chalk and mark 0.5 inches allowance on your armhole and also on the neckline area. So you can see I'm going ahead right now to cut out everything, and when I'm done, we're going to move on to the next part of this tutorial. So guys, note that we marked our front and back at the same time. So you want to go ahead and cut out your back first. I cut out the back armhole first. I'm cutting out the back neckline first. You can see. The next thing I'm going to do is, okay, first of all, for the shape at the down part, from the side, you can go up by 2 inches. Here I marked 1 inch, but please, I still went ahead to adjust this behind the camera to 2 inches. Okay, depending on how curvy you want it to be, you can make it from 2 to 2.5 to 3 inches. Okay, depending on how curvy you want that down part to be. Now for the armhole and the neckline of the front, I'm going to just use my pin to transfer. All right, so you can see I'm using my pin to just mark mark the armhole of the front and the neckline of the front, and I'm going to transfer this to the front parts. Okay, so how I do this is I use my pin and I just poke the lines that I want to transfer to the front. Okay, and then I'm going to just use my chalk and mark on the pins that are showing at the front from those lines that I poked. Okay, hope you understand. Then when I'm done, I'm going to now remove the pins, and then I'm going to trace out the lines from the marks that I made. So you can see I have my armhole line for the front, and I have my neckline for the front as well. So I'm just going to use my scissors to trace out my armhole and trace out my neckline for the front. Okay, so you can see what I have. Now guys, the next thing that you want to do is to cut out your facing. All right, cut out your facing. I'm marking my front, the back side of this fabric, because the front and the back just looks so much alike. Okay, now this part where we left 2 inches for the button, you're going to be using your hemming gum to fold 1 inch inside. Okay, but that is after you're done cutting your facing. So I'm just marking 1 inch to show you guys. You can go ahead and weave the edge. If you have a weaving machine, weave the edge, all right, before you use your hemming gum to hold this. Okay, so you can see I'm going to now fold this in by 1 inch, leaving 1 inch for lapping. But first of all, go ahead and cut out your facing for both the front and the back. I am done with cutting out my facing, and you can see what I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch my facing for both the front and the back. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and iron my facing and then iron this in by 1 inch. This is the facing for the back as well. I'm going to go ahead and also stitch my facing for my back and also iron it out very well. So guys, I am done. You can see what the front is looking like. I'm going to head to turn the neckline with its facing and iron that bottom side in by 1 inch, and then you're going to have something looking like this. Okay, this is the back as well. I'm going to head to turn the back with its facing and iron this out properly. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place the front pieces on the back, and I'm going to use my pin to just pin that button area so it stops flying around. So the remaining 1 inch allowance is going to be used to lap the both of them. Okay, and I made use of 1 inch so that way when you put this on and then when you use your belt to snatch the waist, it's not going to be showing in the middle, like you know how you put on a shirt and people can like see your body from the middle of the button areas. This 1 inch lap is going to cover you very well. Okay, so I'm using my pin to just hold the button areas together, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to join the front and the back by its shoulder. So for neat finishing, I'm going to be using the facing of the back to turn the shoulder. That way everything comes out neat on the other side. So even though I already went ahead to iron it, I'm bringing it out again just so that I can use the facing to turn everything and then turn it right side out when I'm done. That way everything comes out neat. So I'll head over to my sewing machine and stitch this up. So you can see what I have. I am done with stitching this up and you can see what it's looking like. The next I'm going to do is to go ahead and pin the front and the back, and then go ahead and shape it up. Okay. So please arrange your front and your back properly and then pin the sides very well. All right. So while you are doing all of this, make sure that that button side is pinned together. Make sure it's not flying. Make sure that that button area, both of them are pinned together. Okay. This method as well you use when you're making your shirts as well. Before you join the sides, pin that shirt's button area together. Okay. So guys, I am done with shaping it up and you can see what I have. And yeah, the down part is not really curvy, so please go ahead and make yours and come up by 2 to 2.5 at the sides of yours. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to hold the button area at the down part and stitch it together. All right. So I'm going to have to stitch it together and you can see what I have. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tape rule to measure around this down area, measure what I have round. So when you're done with measuring it round, you're going to multiply whatever you have by 3. So what I have for mine is 40. So I'm going to multiply 40 by 3, okay? That's going to be the width of my gathers. Now for the length of your gathers, you want to check how long you want this gown to be on your body. Now I want this gown to be 39 inches long on my body. So I'm going to check what I have, the length of what I already have on my table, and it's 24.5. So I'm going to minus 39 from 20. I'm going to minus 24.5 from 39, and what I'm going to have is 14.5. So I'm going to cut out the length of my gathers to be 14.5 plus 0.5 inches for allowance, and then 1 inch extra for hemming. Everything is going to be 16 inches. Okay, so please calculate yours well. Check how long you want this gown to be on your body. Minus it from what you already have on your table. Add your 0.5 inches allowance for joining and 1 inch for hemming. So you can see I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to just gather this around the hem part. Okay. So guys, for the sleeve, I'm going to be just having a very short sleeve. Okay, I'm going to have to fold my fabric into 4 and I'm rolling a starting line, and then next thing I'm going to do is to mark from the center front to, okay, I'm going to check if what I have is enough for my armhole plus extra 3 inches for allowance. The length of my sleeve is going to be 4.5 because I couldn't decide between 4 and 5, so I used 4.5, then plus extra 1 inch for hemming. I'm going to be using hemming gum to turn the hem part of the sleeve. Okay, now for the center front, come in by 5 inches, then from the side go down by 3 inches, and then connect your armhole. This is the way I just do my freehand cutting for my sleeve. Okay, then I'm going to take my bicep round at the length of my sleeve, and I'm going to add my allowance, which is 1.5, and I'm going to connect like so. So yeah, this is basically it for the length of my sleeve. If you want the sleeve to go shorter, you can make use of 4 inches. Okay, I made use of 4.5 inches for mine. Then when you are done, please go ahead and notch the middle parts. Okay, it helps very well when you are joining your sleeves. So guys, I've gone ahead to join the gathers, and you can see how pretty this is looking. I've also gone ahead to like do my buttonholes. If you look very well, you will see my buttonholes are already done here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my belt. Okay, I'm making use of 2 inches width wideness of belt. So here I just marked out 5 inches so that when I fold this, it's going to be 2.5. Then I'm going to use 0.5 to stitch it. Okay, so what I'm going to have main is going to be 2 inches. So go ahead and cut out 5 inches wideness. The length of the belt is going to be your waist. So my waist is 28. So the length of this belt is 28. Okay, the length of each of them is 28. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these, and I'm going to sew by 0.5. So yeah, these are my sleeves. I'm going ahead to like hem the down parts with hemming gum. So next I'm going to do is to just go ahead and join it to my gown. Okay, so guys, I'm going ahead to mark where my belts are going to be placed. So my normal waist is 17, but I'm going to be placing these belts from 16 inches down. That way they really snatch, coming from my underbust, around my underbust area down to my waist. Okay, remember the width of the belt is 2 inches. So I'm going to place it from 16 inches down to 18 inches. Hope you understand. So just come up by 1 inch from your waistline and then place the belt from there going downwards. All right, so you can see I'm going to have to open up the areas where I want my belts to be placed, and I'm going to pin this from the inside, and I'm going to go back to my sewing machine and just stitch it up. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the both sides as well. I'm going to mark 16 inches, and then I'm going to open up that area, place my belt inside, pin it, go to my sewing machine and stitch it right up. So guys, I'm going to head over to my sewing machine and stitch this up, okay? And I'm also going to join my sleeves as well on my sewing machine. So guys, I am done, and this is what it is looking like, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and fix my buttons. You can see my cover buttons. I'm going to go ahead and fix them right up on the button area, okay? So guys, note that if you want this to be sleeveless, when you are cutting your facing, cut out like also the area of the armhole. That way when you turn your neckline, you also turn your armhole area as well, and everything comes out neat. But for me, I wanted sleeves, and I wanted very short sleeves, okay? So yeah, it depends on your choice on what you are going for. So guys, when I was done and I put this on, this is what it was looking like. Can you see how beautiful it's looking? The belt, I went ahead to like hold the belt very well. That way it's looking snatched in front. Yeah, guys, hope you've learned something today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're yet to be subscribed, so that you can get access to more tutorials like these. Please don't forget to like this video because it's going to help the video to go far. And yeah, comment down below any questions that you have. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.